I stay with the heat even though I'm a sad boy. You better watch the way you breathe around me for that breath be your last boy. I've been drinking red, boy. I've been chopping down these birds, McCoy. No, I bet my rich in really 9 months. Overseas, kind of skin.
Kicking off with the powerful assault, Sanji launches himself and lands on the deck of the Foxy Pirates ship. They attack him as he rolls to the floor, spinning like a top as he cracks bones and bludgeons his enemies with powerful force. Zoro then jumps, using parts of the ship to scale it until he rises enough to be seen. "You're not getting ahead of me." Nami and Robin then look and see the fighting going on as Nami says they're being extreme and she calls upon the name of her weapon, summoning it. "Robin, help me out." "Certainly, Navigator. Just throw it and leave the rest to me." "C'est fleur." With a nod, Nami then throws her scythe as it cuts through space and exits through a tear and is caught by an arm that blooms in the middle of the ship. Sanji and Zoro look to this bizarre occurrence, with the hand then swinging and piercing space, striking enemies just as Nami runs along a bridge of hands and comes on deck, taking back her scythe. "This isn't really my style, but they tried to mess with Mary." "Nami Swan, you look so beautiful." "Oh, shut up already." "Who are these people?" Wait, I recognize him. That's Zoro. They're the Straw Hat Pirates." "Hey guys." As Nami looks over the edge, she finds Luffy making his way forward. It's time for training. Quickly making their way down after having destroyed them, using Robin's bridge of appendages, they walk their way past Luffy, who looks at the beaten pirates ashore and shrugging his shoulders as he then puts Mary back in his gate of Babylon. "Just for safety. I've been a bit too reckless lately," thought Luffy. And so they begin to train. It's much more relaxed than you think. Luffy does want them to grow, but right now it's also a good team building exercise. He tells Zoro what he's learned from wielding all types of swords and weapons. "Don't tell me you've mastered all of them," said Zoro. "Of course I did. Every weapon in my gate allows me for complete mastery over it. That includes Enma and Shisui." "Then when the hell did they become mine?" "When you master your haki and coat them with your spirit. Then, and only then, will they never return to the gate. Honestly, if you just switch them out later though, I don't mind." "Nah, I'll keep these. Let's go again." "Okay." Summoning from his gate another katana, Luffy turns it black instantly with Zoro attacking while Sanji found himself trying to focus on the technique he was shown. He did this by running and kicking with all of his strength, but he just couldn't get it yet. As he ran about, however, he came to a stop seeing someone approaching. Tonjit, meanwhile, at that moment exits his tent to give Sherry some food and says, "Oh hey guys, what the hell?" He sees them all looking to one man on guard, having their weapons out. All except for Luffy and Zoro, who were caught up in the battle, but then they stopped and noticed the agitation of their crewmates. "Guys, what's gotten into... Oh, it's you." As his blade disappears, Luffy approaches Aokiji, making his way past his crew as he tells them to calm down. "Robin, he's not going to do anything as long as I'm here." "You don't understand, Sir Robin. He holds the rank of Admiral." "I know. I told you. It'll be fine." "Admiral, how high is that?" asked Sanji. "I mean, he's clearly a Marine." "The highest below fleet commander, currently held by Sengoku." "How's my grandpa doing?" As he approaches with a cold, calm look, Aokiji would sigh. "Man, I'm so glad you're nothing like him." "Okay, what's going on?" asked Usopp. Luffy would laugh, saying, "Yeah, I figured. So, what are you here for?" "I came in to check in on you, and Nico Robin since she disappeared at Alabasta. Also you." He looks to Tonji, who's confused, saying that he had heard of his conversation while spying on them. "Get ready, you're going home." "What? Didn't you say that you were stuck in the center of the surrounding islands?" asked Chopper. "How is he gonna..." "He can do it. To this man, he can do it," said Robin, almost shivering in his presence. Once again, everyone sees Robin's fear. Moments later, they all then move to the shore, of course staying wary of this man, and Tonji will ride in on Sherry with all of his essentials. "Well, I guess this is the end, guys. Still don't know how he's gonna do it, but thank you." "Anytime, old timer," said Sanji. "Don't get stuck in something ridiculous again," said Chopper. "Doctor's orders." And so, making his way towards the sea, Aokiji says to stay back, when a massive monster erupts forward, taking them all by surprise, but they're not really scared of it. "Who wants to take it?" asked Usopp. However, in a flash, this creature and the sea for miles is frozen, leaving the Straw Hat crew in complete shock. A devil fruit," said Zoro. "He had the Logia type Hia no Mi," said Robin. "Am I dreaming? He just turned what we consider an entire continent into ice," said Tonji. "Thank you so much." As Aokiji walks past them, he says no problem, with Sherry quickly making her way past the frozen beast and onto the ice. And as they say goodbye, they begin to walk away. And Usopp mentions, God, it's so cold now. That was awesome, said Luffy. You know, I changed my mind, said Aokiji. As Luffy turns, he finds that Aokiji has turned serious, with the Marine creating an ice saber. The government is slowly starting to think only higher and higher of you. Everyone gets on guard, with Luffy asking why he's being so serious, and the man says this is his problem. You are just like your grandpa. That and Nico Robin makes you a dangerous combination. Every organization she has joined to this day has fallen, and yet she always survives. In the end, you'll be thrown away, so I'll just end it now. Robin clearly gets affected by these words and gets very agitated when before Aokiji appears Luffy, who summons 4 layers of his outer defenders and slams them into him. And he's been blocked, but he is sent flying with lightning bursting out and adding on to the damage. Get on Vimana! As the airship comes from Babylon, Luffy flies off chasing after Aokiji, who lands catching himself and freezing the ground beneath him. Then with a swing, he raises massive spikes which upon nearing Luffy are blocked by the same golden disc that then expands, flattening the ice as it encroaches to the ground. He lands on the disc and slides towards Aokiji while he summons a massive axe he brings down to strike at the Admiral, who blocks with his ice saber. Their clashing of hockey begins to let off sparks, with Luffy looking pissed. Don't make my crewmates get scared, bastard. You're a little stronger than I expected, but you're not there yet, kid. Releasing a blast of ice, he intends to freeze Luffy when the chains of Enkidu then drop at the speed of light, literally, I'm not joking, encircling Luffy in a sphere before exploding outward, blowing away the ice as Aokiji backs up quickly, only to find his body punctured and slashed, surprising him. Conqueror's coating. Rushing in himself, Luffy then strikes as Aokiji blocks and in the process flash freezes his entire arm when it is then blown off by a coat of hockey. Aokiji does the same and they punch and push each other back. Luffy catches himself with flight and Aokiji rises backwards on a giant ramp of ice. Just then, chains with lightning running through them are thrown at him as Aokiji finds himself on the offensive. He glides on the ice and tries to get away, only to find every path created being destroyed behind him, and Luffy's disc then return to a smaller size and fade as his chains do the same. He then holds his hands to the skies with a massive gate being constructed as Aokiji's eyes widen. Be lucky I can't use ear this time. Enuma! Elish! Every basic sword and weapon in his arsenal is forcefully pulled out, falling and tearing the plains and ice to shreds with light and power reinforcing them. Had Luffy used the more special weapons, this entire island would have been vaporized from just one of them, and already Aokiji finds himself unable to dodge anything, only creating a dome above himself, which is then pierced when he releases a wave of ice again, and it literally does nothing. He finds himself punctured this time in most vital spots and falls to the floor, with the remaining falling shower of weapons fading to golden dust, along with the ones inside the Admiral. Luffy then approaches him, as we cut to the StrawHats, driving away on Vimana, looking back at the island. Is he being serious? Shouts Robin. He's gonna die. Why did you stop me? And what were you gonna do? As Zoro. Freezing, Robin realizes her arrogance at thinking that she could have done anything because she herself finds it very terrifying, and everyone gets quiet with Zoro saying, I staked my life for my captain, and everyone else here has done the same. No one can beat Luffy. When we say that, it's not just a belief, it's fact, as far as we're concerned. Just then, piercing the skies though, Luffy flies over, not a scratch on his clothes, and with a big smile. Hey, you guys miss me? Robin breathes a sigh of relief just as Luffy lands cross-legged. Yeah, that was fun. Fun? You idiot. You know, you're an idiot. I know you're an idiot, but God, you're such an idiot. I was so scared. Seriously, stop doing stuff like that. Hugging Luffy, Chopper balls his eyes out with Luffy saying that he would never be beaten by someone like that. One, he then cuffs up Blood and hunches over. Everyone worries as Chopper tells Sanji to help him lay down, and he does. The doctor then inspects him, finding that he has multiple internal injuries. Why didn't you tell us? Shouts Nami. Well, using so much power against Eneru and my Conqueror spirit coating to fend off that bastard, even I have my limits. But don't worry, I'll always protect you. You guys are my crew. Everyone looks to each other worried as we cut to Aokiji, who manages to stand limping as he slowly makes his way to the shore and falls to one knee. When did the East Blue procure such monsters? Today, the StrawHats did get away, but the burden of carrying the crew has finally shown on their captain. An admiral was, after all, still an admiral, and there is a reason Luffy didn't use Aya. It damages him as well, and he still needs to master the energy he releases. And when they're soon out of range, Luffy pulls out Mary and they head out fully this time, nothing in their way. Luffy is taken to a room and is treated by Chopper to the best of his ability. Before the doctor then makes his way out, seeing everyone waiting, obviously worried, like this is kind of a big moment. "He's okay, right?" asks Usopp. Chopper would nod. Luffy's tough. He also has a high healing factor, and at most he has like a fever. He's been at 10 all day, it seems. When we went back to Jaya, he must have done something else. "It was hockey," says Zoro. Even after using that attack against Enner, he just couldn't help himself. He gets up and starts walking off, and Sanji asks if that's all he had to say. "Our captain's hurt." "And what do you think I'm about to do?" asks Zoro. "Let this be known now, I don't care how. As long as you keep your life, you're all gonna get stronger. We're gonna last in the Grand Line, one way or another, but we're not gonna stand any chance in this way." The air chills with Zoro looking to Robin, and though he knows he doesn't like her and he could just blame her, he says, "Never blame yourself for Luffy's decisions. He never makes decisions he can't handle. You're a straw hat. Keep your chin up, archaeologist." Time skip. Hey, look, frozen Luffy. Striking a pose on deck, Luffy makes Usopp, Sanji, and Chopper laugh as he reenacts how ridiculous he would have looked had he been beaten by Aokiji. As she's handed some food by Sanji though, Nami tastes it, saying it's delicious, and she says that Luffy really has to stop messing around, while Sanji's just saying, "Oh joy." "Shut the hell up, how am I supposed to train?" shouts Zoro. "Oh, didn't notice you, cactus head." Luffy just keeps joking around again, and Nami seriously asks how he can be joking about that. That was an admiral, you're gonna worry Robin, you know? Sitting across from her, Robin says, "It's okay. Whatever comes your way, our way, I'm sure you can handle it, Captain." As he blushes, Luffy says, "Oh, shut up, it's not true." How's my Chopper impression? Bursting into laughter again, Usopp and Chopper are on the floor as Robin notices Luffy is trying to make sure everyone forgets what happened 4 days ago. He's strong, really strong, but this is the world government, she thought. As they continue about their way, the StrawHats would see some strange things. Granny Kokoro, Kimi and her cat Gombe, and the massive frog Yokozuna trying to battle a train, and the three would Kokoro, Gombe, and Kimi would give them a shortcut into Water 7, and as they near it trying to figure out where to dock, a certain fisherman sees them. "Hey, are you new here?" "How'd you know?" asked Luffy. "I guess. Go around north, you'll find a better place to dock." "Thanks, old man." And they begin to turn and leave when Usopp asks, "Aren't they scared of us?" "What's there to be scared of?" asked Chopper. "You guys are awesome." "Aw, Chopper," said Nami. "You have a bounty. Everyone thinks you're a jerk now." "What? That sucks." "You just realized that?" thought everyone. Picking him up and sitting him on his shoulder, though, Luffy says to get over it. "We'll be bad together, alright?" Right, we are pirates after all. And after quickly finding a place to anchor Mary, the adventure begins. But before that, Luffy hands Usopp and Nami 2 suitcases, one of which they both drop instantly because it's too heavy. "How much is in this?" asked Nami. About 2 billion berries, in cash obviously." "I love you." "Oh, Nami, I meant the money, alright?" "That's mean. Anyway, don't lose it, bye." Taking to the sky, he flies out, catching the attention of many, and he flies to any place that looks fun. He grabs a sea bull, riding it about. He uses the natural canals that were canals, in case I spelled that wrong, I'll say it again, allowing for some self-made amusement fun for the Straw Hat captain. Go faster, go faster. Currently, Usopp and Nami are heading to the shipwrights, however, to commission some upgrades to Mary. Sanji and Chopper are looking for new ingredients that Sanji can summon after analyzing, and Zoro, he stayed on Mary like before, so he met some troublemakers like before as he parries the blade of a Franky family member after having just awoken. "Who the hell are you?" Pushing him back with what he considers a flick, he swings down, releasing a colored shockwave that slams into his torso, sending him flying as he crashes through the deck of Mary, making Zoro panic as he gets up running to the bastard. "You asshat, you made me hurt Mary, damn it." "Oh, what was that stuff?" "It's called hockey, but seriously, who are..." He then dodges a bullet and then slices through it as he finds a whole group having arrived, and he smirks. "I am gonna kill you if you don't get off this ship." Meanwhile, Luffy, on his flying journey, having gotten off his little amusement fun, lands and sees something interesting. This would be the Dock 1 for ship workers, and he's just landing on the wall and just overlooking everything. Man, this place is nothing but ship making. Hey you! From below, he sees a certain long-nosed man as he would jump off and slowly descend, coming to a float, and he is told that he cannot be here. Sorry, it's just the rules. You can watch from outside. Oops, my bad, but technically, I'm not touching the ground, so... Are you serious? You're definitely an interesting one, aren't you? As he looks to his right, hearing this new voice, Luffy sees Khalifa and Iceberg arrive along with Nami and Usopp. Oh, hey guys. You know them? Asked Kaku. They're paying customers, said Iceberg. Go ahead, you can land. Thanking him, Luffy lands, running to the two as he whispers to Usopp, Hey, you have a brother or something? He nudges to Kaku, with Usopp saying, Hell no, we look nothing alike. I agree, you look much scrawnier, said Khalifa. Shut up, lady. As they talk a bit, Kaku will then take off to look at Mary, while Iceberg introduces himself formally, properly, now that Luffy is here, and he also introduces his pet mouse he just picked up and he put it in his pocket, and he says, I need a Tyrannosaurus. I'll need some food and a cage for it. Already taken care of, said the astute Khalifa. Commanding her, Iceberg is impressed as always, when Khalifa then takes this chance to describe all he has on his schedule, which is a lot for today. Cancel it. Right away, said Khalifa. What? Can you just do that? Asked Luffy. Cool. I'm powerful enough to just do that, you know? I see you're powerful enough to fly as free as a bird in my city. This got all tense all of a sudden, thought Nami. Look, we came here just to take care of our ship, and we'll be out of your hair. We're not here to plunder or anything. Oh, I just asked because it's surprising to see the infamous StrawHats, said Iceberg. You're described as callous and a ruthless bastard. As they all look at each other, Nami and Usopp begin to think about it, at which point Luffy says, That's not true. They forgot to say I'm also a great captain. Also a complete idiot, said Nami, but it's more annoying because you're doing it on purpose. Also reckless, crazy, said Usopp. Man, you just can't trust rumors, huh? They seem more different than described, said Khalifa. Don't worry about it. Would a callous bastard be so self-deprecating? Asked Iceberg. Hey, Kaku's gonna give me a status report when he returns, but how about I show you around? Oh yeah, sure thing, said Luffy, as he begins to float again, at which point Khalifa says, Devil fruits sure are bizarre. As they begin to move and talk, however, Luffy is described to not have a devil fruit from Usopp, who says, I know, it's crazy, right? Why do you look so proud? Said Nami. I mean, he's my captain. He's yours too. Khalifa then documents this, and though it is funny to everyone that she is taking this serious, we obviously know why she's doing it. We know the true Khalifa, and she thinks it's confirmed. He's like some Big Mom or Kaido, uncertain origins with bizarre abilities. She keeps this in mind and goes back to her persona, with these StrawHats being shown around, and as they are, however, they hear a ruckus, with Khalifa saying, Oh, it's Polly being chased by debt collectors again. Sprinting down a road, Polly runs to a bridge, and over it he sees two bruised Franky family members riding on a boat. And in the ensuing chase, he pulls them off the Yagaras, which is the thing pulling them, which is the sea bulls, and then slams them into each other while they land on like any other part of like the sidewalk. I don't really care what happens to them. And then he starts riding the Yagaras to like get away, when he then sees Iceberg and he says, Oh, hi boss. Don't hate me. Start being an adult, shouts Iceberg. As he is pierced by these words, Polly can only hang his head as Luffy begins to laugh, catching Polly's attention as he looks up. Now listen here, oh god, why is that guy here? You can fix my ship, that's why I'm here. What other reason would I have? Asked Luffy. Iceberg's presence becomes something even more amazing to Polly as he is standing beside the man who beat Luffy. That's right, News Crew wasn't around, but Morgan got some pictures from people he had around Jaya, because it was one day after he did the whole spectacle on Sky Island. So the moment that got spread out, he sent his people to Jaya, and they took so many pictures, and Morgan posted everything in his newspaper. The StrawHats have stayed unaware of this, including the growth of their captain's bounty. So, yeah, everyone knows. Anyway, they meet Lucy and a few more crazy shipwrights, but when Kaku returns, they're told a horrible truth. I'm afraid to say that this ship can't be saved. I'm sorry. They're all left wide-eyed, with the shipwrights understanding their pain. The chances of it reaching the next island is 0, said Kaku. That ship carried you with all its strength. You should be proud. That can't be, said Nami. Mary can't hold on anymore? Meanwhile, we go to Robin in an alley. She's handed a piece of paper by a shadowy man, what is wrong with me, in a cloak with a clown mask. I see your taste for disguises are as good as ever. Making jokes to cope, huh? Well, take a good look, Nico Robin. This is the price for having comrades. As she looks at this wanted poster, Luffy is shown laughing, reminiscent of his Gear 5 picture minus the transformation, and he's just glowing while surrounded by lightning, looking jolly as ever, and it makes Robin smile. As the man makes his way down the alley, he then says she has no choice but to join them as a door in space opens with him walking in and closing it, leaving Robin alone, and she lets the poster be carried away by the wind. This gives us a chance to see this. Monkey D. Luffy, 750 million berry bounty, dead or alive. Back at the StrawHats, after receiving the news, Luffy breathes in and out. Alright then, we'll commission a new ship. These words snag Usopp's heart, but he takes this with stride and says, yeah, totally. You don't want to keep hurting Mary so much, right? Kid, you're far too young to be trying to keep that in, said Polly. You're not doing well. Seeming to already be bawling his eyes out, Usopp keeps a smile, which breaks Nami's heart and Luffy's because this ship is of course very important to him. He is the one who fixes it all after all their adventures, and it represents part of his determination as well. Coming to, give him a slap on his back, Luffy tells him to take a moment, and Usopp walks off wiping his tears, and Nami follows just to make sure he's okay. Mary comes from his hometown, said Luffy. You understand. Yeah, no problem. His determination is admirable, said Lulu. Pathetic, thought Lucci. This is the infamous Straw Hat crew. So Luffy hands the money over, but says to wait for now, and he will choose when to commission them. But regardless, right now they can't really talk about the details. He's just letting them know in advance that they will be using their services, while he has everyone gather at Mary, and he holds a meeting for the fate of their ship. Usopp has kind of calmed down by this point. I'm gonna miss her, said Sanji. The fact that a caravel carried us this far is amazing, said Nami. We need to give her a proper goodbye. We will. We'll bury the soul of Mary in the gate of Babylon. It also looks super cool. Oh yeah, it'll look super cool. Chopper then goes to ask Usopp if he's okay, but he reassures them that he's fine. But if I'm being honest, I thought one day I'd be left behind because I couldn't keep up. It's kind of weird. I didn't know how to feel about Mary leaving, but now I'm just accepting it. God, you're stupid, said Zoro. Okay, shut up. This is an emotional, serious emotional moment, Zoro. Yeah, like we let you go by yourself, though, you idiot, said Luffy. He begins to float around like a maniac, saying, "You be eaten by a sea king, you know." Yeah, sometimes words hurt. They naturally fall back into their natural dynamic, which warms the heart of Mary, because if they sulked, she would have been more sad as well. But then they realize someone is missing, someone new. Wait, where's Robin? Asked Chopper. We haven't seen her all day, actually. I'll go look for her, said Luffy. If I don't come back, I'm sleeping at the gate tonight. Keep a lookout for those bandits that came for us. Chopper? Yes, Captain. As he salutes, Luffy says that he'll have him take the first 2-hour watch, and the reindeer transforms, summoning Gungnir, saying that he won't let him down, and he runs off to the deck. Luffy will then head to the city, and as he flies around, he has his observation catch wind of something. He feels malicious aura, the aura of 3 people. One of them was familiar, and we even see them walking, using the dark alleys to mask themselves until they just disappear. Robin? Observation. A power reserved for those who are extremely perceptive of the world around them. For Luffy, this manifested in him not only being able to sense people, but also sense and understand their very character. His conqueror spirit was so strong that it affected his observation, meaning that with just one look, Luffy can tell the type of person you are. But things aren't always simple, because humans are, after all, complicated. They can change, so he gets a general view, but he doesn't know everything. Blasting off, he heads to Iceberg's room and looks inside from outside as a door would then open in space, and 3 people come out and instantly feeling the presence of Luffy, they look to the window. He resembled a demon the way he was looking at them. Right as Iceberg opened his eyes and an explosion of glass occurs, He sits up, turning on his lamp and holding forward a pistol when he finds the back of Luffy on the receiving end of his bullet. Straw Hat, sorry to intrude, but I guess no one's perfect. You met all matters you cannot comprehend, Straw Hat. Oh, so you're Marines. But Robin, you're not, so what are you doing? Asked Luffy. Iceberg gasps when Robin then takes off her mask, holding up a pistol. Move. If I remember correctly, I'm the captain, so I'm gonna ask you again. What are you doing? As his eyes narrow, the Conqueror spirit ripples, leaving everyone except the Iceberg and Robin suffocated as the masked man, well, one of the masked men and then the others follow, would fall to their knees with their masks coming off. And in that moment, it was as if Iceberg's whole world got turned upside down. What? You, Khalifa, Kaku, even Bluno? As they stare at him, finding it hard to even do so, Robin says, staying with you will not accomplish my dream. And what exactly is that dream? What's so important that you make Chopper cry or Sanji mad? I want to die. Upon hearing this, Luffy's face turns to that of uncertainty. His heart tells him she must be lying, but his observation says that she means it. As the Conqueror spirit lessens, the three CP9 attack using the Rokushiki, only to instantly find themselves bound by chains from three separate gates. You're messing with the world government, said Khalifa. You really want to risk a buster call? With a turn of his gaze, he looks to Khalifa with a smile. I say bring it on. I mean, if you can, that is. What idiot would authorize a buster call on Water 7? You think I'm stupid? The organization doesn't have authorization to just act as you please. Because you're not the leader of it anyway, are you? Khalifa is less shocked by this ability to see the truth of the situation. I misjudged him. That carefree nature was just a mask. He's gonna kill. However, the change just unraveled them, and they are confused, obviously, and Luffy asked Iceberg if he wanted to kill them, and seeing them, he just couldn't do it. He couldn't kill those he considered recently his comrades. As you saw before, I'm a selfish man, Straw Hat. No, I understand. So am I. Tomorrow leave. Go. If you don't, I'll stop you. Bluno, seeing this chance, opens the door and abruptly escapes with everyone closing the spatial door behind, finally letting this tension die. I can't believe this all this time, thought Iceberg. I need you to tell me exactly what's going on here. Why are you smiling? You don't feel anything? She betrayed you. They betrayed me. No, I'm just not giving up yet. I want to hear Robin's real answer. So tell me, why is CP9 after you? CP9? That myth of an organization? They're just Marines, right? Oh, they're real. As real as Sky Island. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. As we fade to black, the next day we find the StrawHats are wide-eyed, having just learned what Luffy found out. Robin's leaving us? Asked Chopper. What the hell, CP9? I'm gonna kick their teeth in, damn it, said Sanji. I told you she couldn't be trusted. Shut up, Moss said. You're as heartless as always. Why don't you just... Luffy never said he was just gonna let her go, said Zoro. Realizing this, they asked Luffy what they do now, and he of course says, I'm gonna go get her, duh. Well, wherever she is, I need to figure that out first. Before that, we need to head into town, spread out, gather some info. CP9 is here. That means that everyone we've met might have been observing us. And so with this in mind, they split up. Luffy and Nami take to town, but as they are, they find people looking at them with ill intent, and news of Robin having attacked Iceberg, but also Kaku and Khalifa and Bluno working for the government was laid bare. However, they are too scared to shout out someone who is notorious for having beaten a warlord and reaching the level of one himself. A Straw Hat. As a certain melody takes center stage, Luffy and Nami look up, seeing atop a high bridge 3 dancing persons. Oh no, it's him. Why now? We don't want you here, just get lost. You're gonna get us all killed. Now come on everybody, don't be so rude. You know who I am. We wish we didn't. Go away. I'm your favorite hero, Franky. Super. With he, Muzzle, and Kiwi posing, they leave Luffy laughing his ass off, asking, hey, how do you know my name anyway? Taking off his glasses, Franky says, I heard you handled my family pretty badly. As he glares at Luffy, everyone instantly starts running, knowing they are about to cause mass destruction, and Franky does as he breathes in and launches at Luffy a violent wave of flames that is promptly blocked by an auto defensor. dispersing the attack as Nami then swings down and Franky coughs up blood as Mozu and Kiwi turn with a shock, finding a scythe sinking into his back from nowhere. "You tried to rob us and then you get mad?" asked Nami. "Get real." As Franky falls, Kiwi and Mozu shout in shock as he plummets and crashes right before Luffy, who is forced to hold back Nami from hacking him to pieces. "Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You attack someone and they get mad for having been dealt with? You idiot, screw you." Okay, Nami, it's fine, he's learned his lesson." "No, I haven't." "Shut up, I'm trying to keep you alive, okay? You were talking to our ship's financial manager, you know?" Oh. "Sorry, but I need that money. I know you're loaded. You're worth like 750 million. You can spare a few." As Nami freezes, her and Luffy look at each other, with Nami looking at Franky. "You mean this idiot, right?" "And that's crazy. I guess someone caught me fighting Don Quixote, huh?" As he begins to fly off, he makes his way to Iceberg with Nami in tow, and Franky would begin to stand. Mozu and Kiwi arrive, wondering what happened between them and if he was okay. What matters right now is why that bastard is heading for Iceberg. His crew member tried to kill him, and he's not worried at all. Others wonder the same and go to ask the shipwrights to stop him, but surprisingly they do nothing. I mean, they can't do shit anyway. Like, Luffy can beat a warlord's ass. Anyway, they have been told by Iceberg to do nothing. Luffy told Iceberg to reveal Robin attacked them, and he didn't care if he was associated because he is, after all, her captain until she dies, and some part of her definitely wants to live. His observation could also tell that. Luffy then makes his way to Iceberg's window and is allowed in, with him then landing. "I'm sorry to have you carrying such trouble," said Iceberg. "Nah, don't sweat it. I'm gonna fix this real quick. Actually, I came here because they're gonna attack again." As his eyes light with a golden glow, Nami and Iceberg get on guard, with a massive explosion going off at the foot of the Galley-La building, and quickly Tilestone and Lulu would run in. "Oh, Straw Hat, having you here is actually reassuring," said Lulu. "Nami, I need you to stay here. Call everyone. It's about to get crazy." Summoning a gate from it, he pulls out his extending staff and flies out past everyone, making his way down the halls as he would head down a few levels until he flies into a room where two masked people turn, blocking and being struck with so much power that they slam through the wall behind them and keep going and going until they come to a stop. Their masks cracking from Luffy's haki, they reveal themselves to be Kaku and Rob Lucci. "His observation's too good," said Kaku. Luffy then walks to Polly, who was being held down, and frees him, asking if he was okay. "When am I ever nowadays?" As he takes off the cloak he had on, Rob activates Tekkai and Soru, appearing right behind Luffy as he strikes with both fists, only to have his fist easily struck down by Luffy's and then struck in the chin by his staff with such force that he crashed through the ceiling and keeps doing so until he finds himself in the air. "He broke through my iron body?" As Luffy rises, he extends his staff, with Rob taking his final form and destroying his shirt in the process. He activates Tekkai once again, leaving Luffy's blow non-existent. You're actually pretty tough, huh?" "Where's Robin?" His staff fades to dust and Luffy rises, flashing past Rob and slicing his torso open with the new blade, and in anger Lucci turns, throwing a wind scythe the pirate's way, which is struck down and blown away by his blade, which is then coated in black, releasing a moving wave of haki that strikes and sends him flying down, crashing into many levels until he lands in the same room Nami is in, and like clockwork, all the StrawHats arrive, busting in, taking advantage of the chaos being caused by Khalifa presently, who is killing many Galley-La shipwrights. Well, let's not say kill, no one really dies in One Piece unless they're super important. But anyway, Iceberg asked, "You too?" "Even with that form I can tell from your hair." "Why, Lucci?" As he morphs back to his human form, he stumbles back a bit and is caught by Kaku, who he finds has a cut in his stomach. He looks to Nami, her scythe letting off lightning. "You could have stopped us at any moment if you just gave us Pluton. Screw you." As the wind roars, a signal is then sent out for people to head to the shelter and get ready for the arrival of Lagunica. The skies darken as the battle at Galley-La rages until Khalifa finds she must go help her leader and makes her way into the room, landing right behind Zoro from the hole that was created by the StrawHats. Zoro instantly turns with a slash of haki and she barely dodges, getting a cut on her chest, and she uses Soru and goes beside her comrades. Tilestone, Lulu, and Polly, those who have stayed true men and loyal to the people around them, get ready for battle, and all the StrawHats here as well are ready to fight. But they hear stand down. Hearing their captain speak, they do so, but the shipwrights are obviously confused, with Polly shouting, "What do you mean, kill them?" "Oh, come on now, I have a stake in this," said Luffy. "I need to get Robin's true answer. Besides, I already know where you're based. Get your ass out of here, Blue now. If that even is your real name, I can see where you're hiding at." As everyone looks around, Bluno then makes his way out behind his comrades, quickly pulling them in with horror on his face, and the last thing he sees is the glare of the StrawHats. This wasn't over, not even close. The door closes and Iceberg has truly reached a breaking point. "Oh crap, Chopper, I need you to help all the shipwrights," said Luffy. "Right." He makes his way out through the hole in the wall and lands down as he puts away Gungnir and shouts for Luffy to give him that room. At which point every shipwright looks like in shock as a gate opens beneath Chopper and what seems like a design of old walls rise around him, creating what looks like a beautiful foreign building. It's obviously a hospital, by the way. And from that building, Chopper exits, now wearing a white coat, and though he may be adorably small, he shouts, "We're gonna heal all of you right now. Like you, bring your friend over here. His lungs are gonna give out if you don't. Right, send out a search party. There are more people inside." They begin to move and hope to take care of all those they can, and Iceberg would have to take the reins again, and it helps him stay in control, especially since he's lost even more people now. And actually, I forgot one thing. As Sanji usually does, he has gone on a solo mission, and we pan to find that he has a golden transponder in his hands as he be hiding nearby a train station. Staying by the underpass, he watches as many men in black suits make their way onto the last train, heading for Annie's lobby. Amongst these people are people wearing hoods, and those would be the defeated CP9, who must hide their injuries as to keep the reputation of their group up. "Hey Luffy, I'm about to do something real stupid." As he spoke into his transponder, the other StrawHats sit in a circle outside of Chopper's healing establishment and stare at his hologram, and Zoro says to Luffy, "You think she's on that train, don't you?" "Yep, been monitoring it for a while now. He's the only one going to a place called Annie's lobby, right?" "Get on it." "What? All by himself?" shouts Usopp, just as Nami and Chopper then shut him up, and he says, "Sorry?" "Don't worry, you can do it, right?" For a woman, anything." "Don't brag about that, you dumbass," says Zoro. Hanging up, Sanji then takes a puff from his cigarette and his hologram cuts out. The StrawHats stand with Luffy summoning from his gate Fumana, catching the attention of the Galley-La company. How is he pulling that stuff from everywhere? Iceberg at that moment, however, approaches them saying, "Wait, you're actually gonna do what you said? That's suicide." "Well, not yet. I see that tide's gonna be really crazy this year, huh?" As he looks out to the ocean, since they are so high, they are able to take notice and are horrified of how far the tide has pulled back. It is to the point where they can see the shore long forgotten, this piece of land that had been forgotten due to the previous Lagunica, which was very huge, meaning that when the waves came striking back, it was going to be a disaster. "Damn, I love this place," Luffy thought. What will be Robin's answer? How does Luffy plan to handle this new scenario? Find out in the next part of One Piece. Sorry I've been keeping you guys waiting for so long, but here it is. Hope you enjoy, and peace. I'm gone.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted.